So when we think about a day or think about time and scheduling, one of the key design components of Portals is that the rigor of reading takes about 50% of the day, and the thinking and the projects take about 50% of the day.
We really tried to make it so that all of we call it the table work, the book work, can be completed in a morning session. And our guides have been proven to be successful in that area. Our families state that they can get everything done in the morning, and then they have the afternoon free for field trips, experiments, further development.
For 4 days a week, we have very structured learning where we give them ideas through the readings, and then the afternoons are open to do the projects that go with some of those things. The idea of flexibility is that students and teachers actually have real choices they can make, and the structure of the schedule allows time for those choices. You can say there's choice in learning, but then give them 7 classes at 50 minutes apiece, and they're exhausted by the end of the day. We want days to be such that there's still energy left to do things with the content at the end of the day. Then we leave Fridays as project days. And the beauty of project days, and we supply a number of ideas so that teachers are never without good ideas for Friday, but we want them to be able to go on that field trip and do larger projects that just take more time. So Fridays are left open for all of those activities that you can't fit into a normal school day, but they're worthy activities and they're essential for kids learning that when it comes to the workplace, we don't live by bells. Sometimes projects take all day, and they're as worth doing as any smaller piece of content. The other beauty of Fridays is we can also bring together people within the Portals network. So we can connect schools and even homeschools or small Christian schools into larger statewide or regional activities and competitions and pieces like that. So the design of Portals is a 4-day routine work week, but with a 5th day of projects and activities that stimulate larger endeavors. We don't want to lock them at a desk for 8 hours a day.
The Portal schedule is designed to be as flexible as possible while still providing structure that families want and need. Families appreciate that they can be able to look at a whole week at a time and easily adjust things around family events, routines, different community activities, while still feeling like they know what they need to get done by the end of the week. It provides them with that accountability and lets them tell their kids, we got to get this done by the end of the week because we're ready to start the next.
Flexibility is essential, especially if your goal is that your kids become leaders and become proficient or competent in a field of their interest. Then we have to allow time to be expanded where the interest is and to be contracted where the resistance is. So we provide a base level of content for students, but then with the supplementals, parents can add to, or they can skip things to shorten it up, and they can flex their education with each kid in their family, or for small groups of parents for every kid in the school. We think that every kid should have an individualized plan, and it doesn't need to be manifested in a document of any sort. It can simply be that the adults know the kids and they know the interests of the kids, so they let those kids have more or less time on projects of their own interest. So in the case of a micro school where you have multiple families coming together, individualization takes the shape of a common reading curriculum that we all do together. But as you think about it, you might have different answers, but then the projects that get done can vary widely. So what that tends to look like is in the mornings, everybody's on the same page, but by afternoons, it looks more like a newsroom. Everybody's working on their own projects, doing their own things. But the value of that afternoon time is now a teacher can walk around the room and check in with each individual student. Where are you at? What did you learn? What did the readings mean? How are you processing things? What do you want to work on next? So the whole point is that you could get through the book work of Portals in 3 to 4 hours. And then you have 2 to 3 more hours in your school day where the kids can kind of have some control over where they do their work. As they progress from young to old, that control or choice around their work should expand. So by the time they're in high school, they can even create entire projects where they might go 2-3 weeks doing something epic, because we'd rather they do one epic thing in high school than they do 1,000 meaningless things. So we want to make sure that the flexibility remains in education and expands as kids get older, and it's appropriate for them to be making more and more choices.